Okay, in this chapter we're going to have a look at the patch tool, and the patch tool is very similar in some regards to the heal tool and also the clone tool, and it also does what it says in terms of you can patch up one section of a photo. For example, there's a blemish here, and take a section from somewhere else and blend it together, so you're patching over the area, whether it's a blemish or an artifact or a divot in the soil that we have here, or whether you wanted to combine it with other tools like the clone stamp tool or the heal tool to get better balance on areas where there is light problems. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to select where it shows the healing brush tool, or J, and if we long press on that we can go down to the patch tool, and if we click on that once, every time we press J now it'll default to the patch tool as well. And we're also going to zoom in, again Control plus, and we're going to patch up this clump of nettles here. So if we draw around by pressing the left mouse button and leaving it, we've drawn a marquee around that area. What we can do now is click and drag from in that area and then move it. And as we can see, it's cloned this section, but also blended it as well. So it's a really handy little tool. And again, we can just say, okay, that's repeating there. So for the eagle-eyed, they may spot that. So we can just clean that up. So that's the first thing we can do. Nice and easy, very similar to other tools as well. Drag around the area that you want to patch up and then grab a section of the ground that you want to blend with it. If we do it here, I've selected a wider area, but we may have more issues with blending if we go with a wider area. It looks okay on that mainly because we're using grass as well. And again, I'll just select it. So the smaller the patch area, the better you'll get in terms of accuracy as well. So if you just want to take that section out, you can see I've gone with a smaller area there, but already it's looking better. Do it a couple more times. And in terms of where to copy, you kind of get an eye for it after a long time of using the tool. I must confess, though, I don't use this a huge amount, maybe not as much as I should do, because looking at this latest version in Photoshop 2021, it's improved a lot over the years, and the blending tool now has become much better. As I said before, it's a balance between using these tools to airbrush the photo to improve the overall quality, but also making sure that it doesn't look like an artificial astroturf. We're not looking for football pitch here. We're looking for enough clarity in the photo that the main area that we're looking at takes precedent, but at the same time, if we were to take all of this out, it would look very fake in the build up to this fence. So we're not going to be doing that. Now, if we were to look at, okay, some of the areas of the field here where we've still got a little bit of damage on there from the light. Now, this patch tool won't work over things like with more detail like hedgerows. We're going to need to use mainly the dodge and burn tool over those areas. But if we take this area of ground here, let's see if we can patch this up. And I'm going to try and select a wide area. I've got no idea how this is going to work, so let's see. Let's take that from up here. Not terrible. Again, we can get rid of the molehills. Clean up the field a little bit. Easier than getting rid of the moles. And that's where we can just improve it a little bit. We can see there's a little bit of difference here between these colors, but again, if I select this area here, and we can start blending it in, but already we can see that's a marked improvement. And if we use a subtle saturate tool using the sponge tool. I know this chapter isn't about the sponge tool, but just showing how we can combine tools together. And I'm just going to miss out that bit there. That's probably a bit much. So Control Z to undo that. And it's just a balancing act. So we've got flow on 11%, which is a good setting to have. And I'm just going to be wary of not going too far over it to bring too much saturation in there. But we can see now there's a little bit of light damage there. So we're going to get rid of that next. But we're improving it. We've then got this patch here. If we now go back to the patch tool, which is J, we can select that area and then merge that, so we don't end up with kind of a different coloured patch in the middle, which would look a little bit strange. So we're going to finally have a look at this section of grass over here. And this time we might come down a little bit to blend from there. Now the one thing we spotted here is it's picked up some of this darker area here and the post. That's why it's not quite blending that perfectly there. So we're going to just do a quick patch up of that. And then we'll need to focus on this area afterwards then. But you can see it does a really nice job of blending with the surrounding areas. And all of a sudden now we're starting to take away some of that damage on this side of the photo, and it's making it more obvious on this side. So the patch tool, quick, easy to use, and great at repairing aspects of the photos. It can also be combined with other tools as well to get a really nice finish. All you need to do is just drag over the area you want to duplicate, drag that over another area, and then we've got something akin to a really nice finish. And actually, running through the patch tool and reacquainting myself with it, I'm probably going to use it more often when I'm photo editing because it's really quick.